Does your dad wear watches?
He does like watches.
Does he? We should get him on the podcast.
I mean, we could maybe future episodes.
Future episode, we can do that, but welcome to the podcast. This is Johnny.
Hi.
Johnny G.
Johnny G's, like the pizzeria. Not sponsored.
Of course.
Yeah, he owns it.
Anthony. Many things are special about me, Sean.
Okay, then.
It's an honor to be here.
Honor.
Yes.
It is an honor.
Honor system?
Yeah, honor system. Yeah. Yeah.
ABCs.
ABCs.
ABC Mouse?
No.
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 Oh, I'm done. So, how are you guys doing today?
All right.
Doing dandy, man.
We ever had complications just trying to set this thing up.
For like 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours. We got here at... Oh, I had to watch. I'm not going to be able to read for a second. All right. At 8:30. What is this?
Nice watch, by the way. I like the watch.
Oh, thank you. My friend gave it to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? You must be a good friend.
Yeah, he was a really good friend. He lets me borrow things.
I sell watches.
He lets me borrow them and he forgets them.
How much for a watch?
I cater everything from around $300 to like $15,000-$20,000 watches.
Do you have like in the $20 range?
I have like $50 watches, like novelty ones. Yeah.
May I say that he does a rent system?
I do rentals. Yeah.
Sometimes he can let you wear one,
Nice.
and then you might get stuck with it for a year.
Oh.
Yeah. If you do rent one and you think you got away with it or trying to get away, I have people in higher places
Oh shit.
that will kill you.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So Johnny,
Yes.
what was the first topic we wanted to do? I
I
forget.
think we wanted to like talk about like aliens or something.
Oh.
Are they real?
I think they are.
Yeah. I mean,
They're
how
like-
could you say we're alone in this giant universe?
because some people think it's just an empty universe. and
Most people-
we're at the center of it.
most people who don't believe in aliens also have never traveled out of the country.
They may not.
Just
they
a good statistic.
They may
you know,
not.
to put
They
out
may not
there.
even left their house. To be honest.
Yeah, well, because most people who are like, oh, I hate traveling. I don't want to. Why would I need to leave? Well, go travel, and and you'll see why you want to travel.
Just sounds like people who don't believe in aliens just aren't fun.
So even if there was no aliens like us, they find organisms technically on Mars. Those are aliens.
Technically, because
Different
it's an
types.
alien source.
Yes, it's a unidentified thing that is like new and living.
Exactly.
So how can you say an alien's not true? Maybe
Now-
not like us. They might not even breathe oxygen.
Did you see the new thing that just came out? Like the one of I think it was like the president of Mexico or something. He said, "I'm not hiding this anymore. This was a real thing that we found, and it was like a mummified alien from like 1,000 years
No.
ago that they had mummified. It was a
Dude.
fossilized thing."
I saw the shoebox, man.
Shoebox, man? You saw it?
I opened up Bing, and it was the first thing that popped up
Yeah,
was a picture of the shoebox.
Wait, the mummified thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like an
I
actual.
didn't hear about this.
Yeah,
You didn't see it?
No, and I usually get the notifications of everything.
Yeah, well, you didn't get this notification, and
Apparently
you
I
don't
did
get
not.
my notifications because I call you and you just ignore me. Like,
I call you back
yeah,
later.
like hours later.
Hey,
a
you
day
pulling
later.
to me?
Yeah. But at least I don't go months without contact.
Okay, you got me red-handed.
You know what I
don't go
do? You know what I
months.
do? Somebody will text me like, "Hey, where's this? Whatever. Where's Johnny?" And like, they'll call me after, and I answer their question, but I never text them back. Couple of months later, I'll text them back, be like, "What do you mean? I don't know where Johnny is." It's like the best thing to do because they're so confused. They're like, "What are you talking about?" But it's
Oh my god.
something.
So Johnny, why don't you answer me back after a month?
We're gonna go on break.
Oh, you want to answer the question?
He pleads the fifth on this one.
So at least
plead the fifth.
when I don't answer Anthony, it's because I'm working on something.
Usually.
Always. Always.
Like 30% of the time.
I'm always
The
doing
other
something.
70, you're like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to deal with this
No.
man right now. I get it. I'm annoying. I've been annoying. Even in high school, people who are watching this from high school, I was probably so annoying. I got a little better, I promise.
You know, it's annoying. That ghost in the room.
Yeah? Yeah?
He freaks me out every night.
What ghost in the room? What are you talking? You have a ghost in your room?
You're seeing
No,
that.
I feel like it watches me every night.
That was a sick transition.
No.
Sick transition.
I don't know if it was sick or not, but I just wanted to get it into there somehow. So I was like, I want to talk about
So we got a little list going on what we want to talk about. rough idea. You
Rough
know?
idea. Who knows
But
how this is going to go?
The only thing,
It may
you
go
know,
off topic.
that was the most unsmooth thing. That's like playing opera and then heavy metal, like right after it. You know, you're like yeah,
Paranormal.
you know, yeah.
Let's go.
And
Listen,
then
I'm just trying to go into something
you're
else.
like,
okay?
yeah, why do you ignore my calls? Because you know what's scary? The ghost
Yeah.
in my room.
All right, listen. You and me went to that one night where your grandma's house was like all those noises are happening to us.
Oh my god, that
and
was
then,
a
and
great
then at the
night.
graveyard,
Yeah,
and then you get stuck in because you saw a flying saucer.
oh my god, we got to talk.
That would
about
have been that would have been better.
You gotta
transition. That would've been-
you gotta tell the spiritual side of it, and I'll tell the saucer story, because I wasn't really the best at decision making back then.
That
you know?
decision made that I do want to know what's going on in your head that one night. So
There's a lot of
Johnny does not
nothing.
know about this one.
Yeah,
I have
Johnny
no
does
idea about
not.
this.
You probably heard us talking about the saucer. You know,
I
how
keep
wanna
hearing about
go-
the saucer.
Yeah,
The saucer.
but you don't know what
about
the saucer.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
So you know what better transition would have been from the alien thing would have been like, you know the saucer that we saw that one night?
Yeah, yeah.
That would have been a better transition. But okay. So me and Anthony decided to go to his grandma's house. I forgot why we were there.
We were just visiting. I think we were
cleaning
in
out. I think we were getting something because your sister moved out or something.
something. I don't know.
Whatever it was, there was weird noises happening. Whatever it was, we would be upstairs, then we knocked downstairs or something, some weird noise, blah blah. So that started the whole paranormal. So then we went to a graveyard, and then this is at 12 o'clock at night probably, and then we're sitting there and we're just fooling around like idiots, and then next thing you know it, we heard a knock, and next thing you saw a shadow go whoosh right past us, and we just he was driving, he's like, did you see him? I'm like, yes I did, just let's go.
Oh yeah, we
So
were in the
then-
graveyard, right?
Yes,
Oh, God.
and then our end of our travels, where we find the flying saucer.
So now I'll take over this side of it.
What, was it in the graveyard?
So no. So this is nearby. So this graveyard, by the way, is like 300, 400 years old. It's a very, very old graveyard. There was just a few random stones, So it was creepier. It gave that factor. It was foggy, It was crazy that night. So we're driving in Holmdel, New Jersey. I don't know if you guys have ever been over there. I know you have.
I
with
have.
That. So could I show the picture of the saucer? So there's something
Saucer?
called Bellworks. It's like you work there.
Picture,
yeah,
Donnie,
yeah. So
picture.
this is the saucer.
What
So
the fuck
I'll
is
show
that?
the audience. It's a water tower, but it's like cut off in half. So we call it the saucer.
Well, he
you know?
called it the saucer
Yeah,
that night.
that night. So we're driving, they're like thin roads. It's leading to this building. The Bellworks is like you eat there. They have like restaurants, cafes.
It's a mall.
Yeah, not really a mall because it's more of a workplace. Like there's a lot of offices. There's a gym there. There's a couple of different things. It's more like a living quarters in a way. I would say that, except nobody lives there. There's places next to it. Anyway. We're driving. I think at the time I was driving like a 2014 Kia.
Yes, it
You
was.
know? Yeah.
Wait, what? Yeah, it was. Yeah,
It was a Kia. So,
it was a Kia.
so no off-roading vehicle over here. So this night was crazy. Like I was
Hint,
telling
hint.
you about the graveyard, it was foggy out. It was really foggy. Now, not only foggy, but it was downpouring. Like so much rain in such a little amount of time. It was crazy. So I'm just driving. We're exploring the night, and I was like, I want to drive to that saucer. Now, I don't know if you remember the picture I showed you.
Hold on. I didn't know we were driving to a saucer. He just said you want to show me something.
Yeah, I was
That's
like, I
all-
want to
that's
show
all I
you.
knew. That's all I
Now,
knew.
there is grass that you got to get from the road to the saucer.
To the saucer.
It's a field of grass. Think
No.
of it in the middle of a soccer field
Yes.
almost.
Okay.
It's wet out too. Grass is pretty tall.
Yeah, the grass was pretty tall. They need to do better maintenance because that's why my car eventually got stuck. I was like, let's drive
You
there.
just ruined the whole thing.
No, I didn't ruin it. I was almost there anyway.
You-
That's what
yeah,
happened,
you-
all right?
you just
so
threw the
I
whole
drove
thing.
through it, and my car's slowing down, and I'm like, oh, God, it's going downhill towards the saucer a little bit.
Hold on. Let's just go to this part. You're all knowing you just wanted to go to the saucer. Even after the car was getting a little weird going downhill, you're like, I'm going.
Yeah, I'm
And
gonna make it. I'm gonna make it.
I'm
And Sean was like,
advising.
you shouldn't have done this. I told you, do not do this. Your car's gonna get stuck. And I'm like, I got it.
So what does he do? He stops at the bottom of the hill.
I stopped at the bottom of the hill.
We looked at the
it was-
saucer.
So then, as we're turning around, my car, it's not really going anywhere. It's starting to kick up some dirt.
We made it a quarter way up the hill.
Yeah, a little bit. And we see the tracks that I left on the way back. I was like, oh, God, that's all mud now. So There was no way. There was no getting up. My car was just going deeper and deeper. I was like, oh, God. So what do we see?
We see deer, and then we also see a cop.
Mr. Policeman.
Mr. Policeman.
So he doesn't see us at this point. It's pitch dark. He's driving down like on the other side. I see him like you have to make a whole bunch of U-turns to get to us. It's a big field basically and like roads around it. So I was like, oh, I think we're good. I shut off my lights. I don't think he saw me. Then he starts going this way. I was like, but either way, how the heck do we get out of this?
This is not
You know?
good.
So I turn my car lights back on, and I see the cop start coming this way. You know, he doesn't have his lights on or anything. And he comes up to us. He was like, what happened? You know, it is pouring rain.
So before he was walking up, I don't know what the original story was that we came up with. It was something with a deer, but it was just something stupid, like, I don't know.
Yeah, we were thinking like maybe like, oh, like I didn't see where the road was, or I pulled to the side of the road and I couldn't get back on, so I was gonna go across. I don't know. It was something so stupid.
So last second, I'm like, well, see, my friend was driving. Deer ran out of the woods. He went off the side of the road a little bit, and he ended up going in the grass, and he kept going down by accident, and then
whatever. I just said, yeah. Basically, long story short, it was a deer, and he was like, oh yeah, there are a lot of deer over here.
There's a lot of deer.
No questions asked. I was like, yes, thank you, Sean, thank you. Well, that night turned into an expensive night because I had to get a tow truck, and AAA wasn't like answering that night, or it took forever. And he was like, "I need to call the municipal township to tow your car." And I was like, "How much is that going to be?" He was like, "It's like $600, you know," or like no, it was like some crazy amount like that. And I was like, just to get it back on the roadway, like it drives fine, it's not broken down, it's just stuck. He was like, "Yeah, it's a recovery." So I was like, oh my God. So the tow truck game, it is pouring still. We are drenched. Every part of us is drenched.
Cops out there talking to us.
Yeah, the cops are just talking about, you know, like life as if he's used to this. I guess he is. But it was the tow truck definitely wanted to kill us. I tipped him well because I felt so bad for him. But I got my car out and he was like, all right, so I just have to do a report. I don't have to give you a ticket or anything. But if Bellworks wants to give you like a bill for the damage you caused because there was a lot of mud tracks all the way to the saucer, then you're gonna have to pay them. I was like, when am I gonna know that? You know, maybe I should prepare or something. And they're like, whenever they contact you. Thank God, thank you, Bellworks. That I'd never heard from anybody. And I actually heard from one of my buddies who was a landscaper at Bellworks. He was one of the companies that was hired by them. He was like, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah, we just like mowed over it, put mulch and stuff, you know. I mean, not mulch, whatever, more like sod. Yeah, so
grass seed.
Yeah, grass seed, whatever it was. So that was the flying saucer story.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was. What are your thoughts, Johnny, on that one?
That sounds freaking awesome.
Yeah,
really
that was a night to remember.
Night forever be told.
Yeah.
How any fun stories you ever had with flying saucer?
Actually, yes.
Oh boy.
So, back in college, I have one saucer. Well, kind of.
Was it John?
No.
Oh, okay.
We don't speak of him. There's one experience I had that was really weird, and I was in the middle of Robinson.
Robinson.
Where is that?
That's
So it was
middle of the campus.
It was Rowan University. It was the middle of Robinson Green.
Okay.
I was sitting on a bench with my ex-girlfriend at the time, and we started looking. And this was after a football game, so we assumed like, okay, we
went to a football game.
Well, it was Rowan football game, which Rowan kind of sucks.
Rowan.
Yeah.
Not sponsored by Rowan.
No, not at all. Thank God.
Not at all. They're not associated.
But
well, Johnny's associated.
Well, kind of.
I'm associated. Yeah.
But we thought after the game, like there were lights just in the sky. You know, we just assumed maybe there were, you know, something like that. And then we see these three lights just alternating and hitting a center point, and it's right above us. And I'm thinking like, okay, maybe it's some light or something. So we start walking straight, thinking, okay, maybe it's by the football field or something like that. Maybe we'll see like where the light's coming from. And then we see the lights are actually following us above us. And then we got really creeped out, so we started walking back. We sat back on the bench, and we saw the lights moving again. And it's these three circles going into the center.
That is freaky.
So then after like a minute or two, we just got a really eerie feeling. Like,
No way.
like something just wasn't right. And then we ended up walking back. And then that was it. We didn't see the lights.
So listen, at least yours is like the lights are strolling around, and that is kind of freaky.
Yeah.
But listen, I had two friends that at least see your story. It's like, all right, no, there's no way an airplane or aircraft can go around in circles and hit a point as always.
Yeah.
Well, my two friends at the time, I'm not gonna say their name, but we're sitting there walking home. Similar to yours, there's lights in the sky, but the only thing is they're both moving linear next to each other.
Oh.
And just linear, just traveling, and it's literally, they're like, it's an alien! It's an alien! And I'm like, guys, it's an aircraft. Like, do you ever see two airplanes just flying so perfectly next to each other? To the lights, look at the lights! I'm like, you idiots, it's coming, it's probably military, it's just military, you freaking idiots. And then, yeah, it went on for like 10 minutes, and until they finally went overhead, and they're like, oh, it is just airplanes. And they felt so stupid.
Well, I have something to add, kind of. Like, I feel like even if what we think are alien ships or whatever, a lot of times it could be classified, military exercises going on that we have no idea, because our military is crazy like that.
I mean, there are a lot of military bases in New Jersey.
There's New Jersey.
We have a whole naval weapon station that provides all of the naval weapons, to our Eastern Fleet, which is crazy. Yeah. You ever see, they're going to literally everywhere from Florida down, all the way like down to the Gulf of Mexico and back. And that's a lot of protecting.
That's crazy.
That's a lot. And now we have weapons that, I mean, people think missiles and like bombs and stuff. There's so much more than that. We're starting to partner with Israel. Israel. With their laser guidance system that literally just shoots a high pressured beam of light towards the aircraft, and it disintegrates it. That's stuff you see in sci-fi movies. That's crazy.
They always say the military technology is like 20, 30 years
above
like
what you think it is.
Yeah, whatever's current.
So going to your light thing, there's always been talk, like there's, I don't know what, I think it was one was Japan and another one, like, I don't forget what time and year frame, and even Hawaii, actually, I think this was like a theory. I don't know if it was true, never done any research, but they even said like there's a beam of light. I mean, Hawaii, I would say Hawaii because it's the most recent one. It was just a beam of light hit Hawaii and then lit on fire. I don't know the whole.
I saw the videos.
I don't know the whole detail of like a whole thing. I just heard of it, and I haven't really done research on it. But it's like they're talking about, it was something to do with military testing something, and it hit Hawaii. Yeah, and that's what started fire. Exactly. And during a hurricane season, hurricane was happening at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So. And then, like I said, the other one there was another one where it was like there was a beam of light, and then next thing you know, there was like a big giant crater. I think it was in Japan. Maybe Japan, maybe somewhere else, but it's kind of scary to think about. You can shoot a laser from space, and
well, I mean, we're the only country in the entire world that has a space force. And how much information do you have other than the memes you see online? Yeah.
So
what do you think they're actually doing?
Another thing is you wouldn't make a space force unless you had stuff in space to do things with.
Something that I saw that was insane, that was actually tested out in Ukraine, and they had to come public with it because we were caught using it, like testing it out. Yeah. We gave it to Ukraine. It was in one of the packages under like something that nobody would recognize, but they confirmed it because the government came out with what we have in technology-wise. It was a missile that literally just goes along, and it shows on the enemy's radar and like screens that there's aircraft there. They could do like
it mimics an aircraft.
Anything it wants to be. They said that they can make it look like there's a submarine below. It could make it look like there's 12 airplanes, 3,000 airplanes.
Wow.
All alongside of it.
That's pretty cool.
Which is insane because the targeting systems of the enemy doesn't know where to shoot.
It may shoot, but it's just gonna go where it's gonna go. Hopefully it doesn't hit civilization.
But that's insane. That's crazy stuff. And that's our next. Once they came out with that and said, yes, we have this, they said that they were actually planning on making drones that do that fly with wingmen. It's called the 6th generation fighter. It's called NGAD, NGAD, Next Generational Air Dominance. It is crazy what they're doing, like crazy stuff.
You ever see the ones that were like, I don't know if they kind of look like they're foam, Like the planes.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
just-
the Reaper. Those.
they just throw them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
They,
ones
like,
you
they
just
just fold out and they just go.
and just
Switchblade drones too are sick too. That's what we
I think
just
that's what
killed
you're talking about,
the.
isn't he?
That's
No,
the that's the
this
one
is-
where it's got the knives coming out, right?
Yeah, the knives
Oh,
shoot
really?
out of it.
I didn't know that one.
Well, it literally just those like archery bows that you shoot, whatever,
Yeah.
like hunting. So the arrows that you could buy, like how the blades come out,
Yeah.
it's a missile that doesn't have those at all times of flight. We just killed one of the leaders of ISIS like that a couple of months ago. They got him while he was on his balcony in his doorway. It was so accurate that it got him right in the head, and then right before it hit him, it just puts the blades out, destroys the person, kills them.
Wow.
Now that's to reduce casualties, like anything,
Yeah.
anybody innocent
And if there's
standing
someone,
by.
it would just be one.
Yeah, exactly. It's better to
Minimize.
recover. Yeah, the minimize the damage if they need to get something from behind him, like a computer or
Yeah.
something. It literally just goes, it slices them up, and that's it. So
Nice.
accurate too. They got him.
Wow.
There was like pictures that went around of the damage and stuff. It was crazy, crazy.
I remember my teacher was talking about that.
They're called
the same thing.
switchblade drones.
That is insane.
Wow.
Like, and it's just razor blades,
Literally
on the
just
wings?
razor blades that just pop open exactly how
Is
an
it
arrow.
like
I
in
saw
front
it.
of it, or is it like on the
No,
side?
so it's on the head of the.
slice
It's on the head of the.
Okay, so
the
it
missile.
really-
Yeah.
it goes-
So just
Yeah,
just
exactly.
Fold,
It
fold
shoots
out.
out like that.
Okay.
So it just goes.
Is it like a bunch or one?
I think it was like 2 that come out,
Okay.
and they're not big. The missile is very like it's probably the size of like I don't know, like this table at most. So it's a smaller missile, and they just replace the warhead. Like
the
whatever,
explosive part.
the
They just
explosive part,
swap
and
it out with
swap
the-
it out with the switchblade part,
Wow.
which is crazy. But the guidance system is what's insane because of how accurate it is. The military tech
Military
is so
always-
far up
is-
there.
You can
It's
never.
amazing.
That's it. I remember listening to what was it? Where was it? Wozniak, there it is. Wozniak, and he said, before computers became, before it was just a, command prompt, and it became what we have now, like, the mouse and, the whole desktop thing.
Yeah.
Well, it was like 10 years before they even got to that, he got invited to see this. He's like, well, what I saw there was like 10 years advanced that we were ever working on in our lab making Mac and all this stuff. And he's just like, it's just everything the government has is just 10 years advanced, 20 years advanced. It's just so advanced out far from what any civilian will ever have. no
You
matter
remember
what.
the SR-71, right? The Blackbird, the fastest plane in
Yes.
the entire world, where the only defense of it was to go faster.
Yeah.
It's a classified top speed. Nobody knows how fast it goes. It's never been publicly disclosed. Well, that plane came out in the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fastest plane to today. There's still no faster plane ever. That we know about. Exactly. That we know about. That we know about.
You don't know
So
what happened.
how crazy is that tech was in the 60s? Imagine
You want-
what we have now.
If you want to honestly know, it's like I feel like we were able to make things a lot better though back then than now.
Yeah,
feel
but
like,
I don't-
I'm sure they have.
with-
Like I said, we don't know.
Look
what
at
they
our
have.
funding back then. How much we put in? Not nearly as much as we put in now. We
But
put
we
in
have
so
inflation
much
now,
money.
too.
Doesn't matter.
But I'm
Still
not
not at
saying,
that.
no matter what, I'm sure they're highly more.
Yeah.
They have more things.
I feel like there were a lot more, I guess, brighter minds back then. Like without like the internet,
100%.
there's like a lot of people. Like at the 60s was like there's
Well, you
so
had-
many
you
different
had-
inventors
you
at the time.
had to
So
use
many
your
different
brain.
Yeah.
people
You-
like working on. I mean, hell, the transistor was what around like the 50s, I think.
That was like the
50
40s, dude.
The
I think it was
40s,
the
yeah.
40s. I thought it
40s.
was the 40s.
I think 47 somewhere.
I know it
around
was
there.
early that area, like where it's like
Yeah.
when I read, I was like, "Bro, that early?"
Yeah,
And it's like I don't think it came like in the 80s, 70s. That's when I think all computers really started popping
Yeah.
up, right?
yeah, roughly around there.
70s, I think it was. I don't know.
It's like supernatural tech. That's why I like to funnel back, is why a lot of people might look in the sky and see these things and automatically assume that it's supernatural because they never seen anything like that.
I was freaking out about a month ago. I saw the new Starlink.
Oh yeah,
And
Starlink.
I didn't.
Starlink.
Starlink. You don't know what that is?
No.
Musk,
Elon Musk's.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, it's like the
yes.
biggest satellite constellations of satellites that we have in the entire world.
I saw it pass by and I was leaving my friend's house and I literally ran to the door. I'm like, you gotta come out here and see this. I'm like, what the
It's
hell
low
is it?
orbit, so you would
Yeah.
be able to see it 100%. They're super bright too.
You see satellites. They move They move in the sky.
Yeah.
You just got to know where they're at.
So
and you can see 'em.
Starlink is all over. Actually, he's actually under fire right now because supposedly Musk got word that Ukraine. This was last year. Got word that Ukraine wanted to do a giant attack, like a Pearl Harbor style attack almost, on Russia. You know, while they were obviously getting killed by the Russians. So they wanted to blow up half their naval fleet, you know, and they had the capacity to do so. They had the intelligence. They knew where everything was. They had everything planned. Now, the only thing was the Starlink internet went down right before the attack. So when they were ready to attack, I guess Musk got word of it or something. Whether it be from the Russian side or from the Ukrainian side, whatever. Like, hey, maybe keep this running. And he told his engineers to shut off the Starlink internet, which he said that he didn't want to cause World War III. So I get it on a business standpoint. You're a businessman.
Yeah.
But he's been providing Ukraine with Starlink internet because it's the strongest internet, and you can't get rid of it unless you shoot it down. It's not like most of our internet, which is through cell towers and different things like that.
Yeah,
you know,
satellites
it's exactly. Satellites also help.
Yeah.
But not nearly. Starlink, they say, is the fastest because of the constellation they have and the
Well,
formations
they
they
have the
it's the
actual-
best internet, just not mass produced yet for everywhere.
Because all of our infrastructure is so old.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, so if we just keep, they just keep adding, like, so it's just like a satellite, it's like control the internet.
Yeah.
It's like we just keep setting up there, and you know, we're not moving new ones or we're not taking them back down.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like we're gonna take all of them back down, take the internet down slightly, and then throw all the new ones back up. To
Exactly.
Make it better.
Exactly.
You're gonna wait for the next person to do it.
So Starlink is huge. Now, what were you saying about Starlink?
So it was just amazing how close it was, just how low it was. I wasn't expecting it, and just seeing it bright green, just very close together, just flying by, and then it just slowly ascended back up, and it was just like, I saw it twice.
See, imagine like a 95-year-old man who has no idea. Like, he doesn't have a phone. He's looking up like
freaking out.
It's like a
my
paranormal
God.
thing.
Yeah.
There are a lot of paranormal things in the world too, you know, that aren't government related.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any stories like?
Oh, I got plenty of
What
them.
is paranormal?
I say, paranormal in my own house. I got paranormal there. I got, like I said, one alien thing. I think the only thing I've had, and like I said, this could have just been the comic falling from the sky. But when I was like 5 years old, from New York City, there was, I don't know, big giant green ball just flying, like coming out of the sky, and it just disappeared. It's like it's just a big green ball, and then it just glows, dims down, and then just poof.
To nothing.
To nothing.
That's
so like I said, it was kind of, it could have just been like, you know, a rock burning in space.
Yeah.
I don't know, it was bright green though.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And maybe it was just metals on, like, you know, the metal on the asteroid, or not asteroid, you know what I mean, just comet, or
Could have been that,
whatever,
maybe something.
you know, whatever you call the thing falling through the sky, but going to the atmosphere. What's it called?
Not sure.
I'm trying to think, because
But-
there's like two specific terms for it. I always forget which term
For
it is.
atmosphere,
Like when a
low orbit,
like, so you got flying star, and then you got
meteors, and
meteor,
stuff.
yeah, meteor.
Asteroids.
Asteroid,
Yeah.
asteroids.
Asteroids are more rare. Those are
they
bigger
hit us
ones,
and
yeah,
hurt
but
us.
asteroid-
Lots of issues in life.
Yeah.
Lots of issues.
Have you guys ever experienced anything with like flickering lights and stuff?
So much
Where you
worse.
go?
You have no idea. My family comes from a long spiritual, like crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. I'll tell you my story. Do you have a story?
Have you ever experienced? There was one time I was driving home on Parkway, and I took the wrong exit because I wasn't looking at my GPS, and I normally used it for like, you know, just tracking the time and stuff. And for some reason, I just took the wrong exit, and I went, I think, by the inlets or the outlets. My bad, not the inlets.
Inlets.
And and the road I was taking, all the street lights flickering and pulsing, and I was freaked out of my mind. And then finally it stopped. There was a whole row of them.
You would hate Greece.
Johnny, no, listen. I walk my dogs every night, and like I said, does it happen every night? No. But listen, there's times I walk, and those streetlights, they pop off. So I'll get the one, pop off. I get the next one, now it pops off, the other one pops back on. And I just walk
It's so
underneath
weird.
these
So
things,
crazy.
and they just pop on, off. Or they go, or it would do some
It's
like
like motion
dimming thing.
sensors for you.
Yeah, and like I said, it doesn't happen all the time. So it's not like it's a sensor on them. I walk past them sometimes and they do nothing, and there's just some nights that they just on off. As I walk past them, and it's like, what the hell is going on? Like,
That's
Am I?
crazy,
Is it something?
yeah.
Am I have some
Yeah.
magnetic pulse in my body?
Do I smell bad? Did I
Like,
do
it's
something
like,
to
am I
you?
that ugly or something?
Yeah.
Like,
Like, what is your problem, man? Do you want to like square up? Like, what's going on?
Let's
bro?
go. Let's go.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
paranormal stuff happens way too often in my life, and it's crazy. And you've seen some of it, being a friend like throughout the years, whether it be Clinton Road or where there. I'll tell like two short ones. Like once there's this house in Lake Riviera, Brick, New Jersey. Whole neighborhood of houses. Well, there was this one red house, and everybody like knew it as like the scary house or like the haunted house. And I just remember like we used to like break in there and just like explore the walls, the graffiti and stuff. We never did any of that, or at least I don't know if you did, but
I never. I know. I only there one time with you. I was
yeah.
like, oh.
So I've never like spray painted it or anything, but like we
that
would
house
look
looks
at.
really nice though now.
Yeah,
It's
now
very
now
nice.
they
It's very
redid the
nice.
entire thing. You won't find it anymore. They redid the entire thing. It's like a doctor's office.
Don't
or
try to go
something.
find a house in
Yeah.
like Rivera because most likely
It's gone. So I remember that it being the haunted house. Me, one of my friends, I'll just call him S for now, and my cousin Mike, we decided we wanted to sleep in it. So we were like, I think we could do it. It was a really sketch. You walk into this house, instant, like hard, dark feeling in your chest. It's
Do you hear like the
loudness, but it's so
like-
quiet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've had that happen once
Yeah.
before.
So it's like the room is screaming at you, but you could hear a pin drop, and it's like something screaming at you. It's crazy. Not like a human scream. It's just noise.
Feeling.
It's so much
Just feeling
noise.
in your head, like,
Yeah.
Cloudiness.
Exactly. So we decided. Yeah.
Radio interference.
Yeah. Exactly.
Good. Keep going though.
It's just so loud. Like you can't think of anything else in your mind. Right? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. It's I can't really explain. The only way to explain it is just rouses your brain.
Yeah. Exactly.
It really just
Yeah.
rattles you, just kind of like mentally feeling your emotional state. Your emotional state gets rattled.
Yeah, exactly. So we decide we want to sleep in there. We go in there probably like 9 p.m. or whatever. I don't even think we brought blankets. Yeah, I don't think we. I think we brought a book bag. We brought like we all had our own bags.
That's
Like
why I'm in charge when
like
I go
they had
camping.
So they had like whatever like knapsacks or whatever the drawstring bags. I had my book bag, and we just used that as pillows. We slept downstairs in the basement. It was
In the basement?
terrible. So the layout of this house, there's like 3 floors. Upstairs, you don't want to go up because the floor is missing a lot. So you don't want to go up there. It's just glass or whatever. Middle floor is pretty sketchy. And then down, there's like a room with a fireplace. And that room, it's like the living room, I'm assuming, has a whole bunch of mirrors in it. There was a mirror in the back, like facing... Like the fireplace would be on this side, the mirror's on the other side.
You sound like
And
you're
just a
describing
wall.
like Insidious right now. Really? That's what it sounds like.
So I don't even
Insidious.
remember that. But so we slept in the basement, which was just the gloomiest, crazy thing. So Severia was like, I'm out, I can't do this. He bailed like within the
Hour.
first hour. So whatever. I was like, all right, that's fine. I still got my cousin. Let's go to sleep. I'm going to sleep as early as I can. It
Yeah,
is
I don't want-
quiet. We're not playing music, nothing. We're just talking and stuff. And I fell asleep. I woke up around like 3 a.m.
A haunting hour.
Is it actually?
I think it is like 2:30.
I don't know
3:30.
what time
I
it
think
is.
It's haunting hour.
Well, I woke up and I go, Mike, because I heard a noise or something. I thought I did. I just woke up. I was like, yo, you still up? Or whatever. And he's gone. Gone. Completely
Oh,
gone.
shit.
I
So
freak
I'm
out.
calling him. I'm freaking out. I'm thinking he's trying to scare me or some shit. But I'm actually freaking out because this is not a place that anybody wants to like joke around
there's
or
drug
like
dealers.
move.
There's
Yeah, well,
drug
not only
things
that,
happen there.
not only that, but it's just so dark that if you don't have your phone light, you can't see nothing. You can't see in front of you. Well, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about this. I'm texting him, calling him. He's not answering. Later on, I found out that that he left. And he heard something and he ran, he screamed and he left. He didn't like
Wake you up.
wake me. Maybe I just wouldn't wake
Thank
up.
God there's no murder
Whatever.
here in the house,
Yeah,
'cause if you
exactly.
don't-
Yeah. So what's crazy is I'm freaking out and I was like, I think I could stay here. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be the only one that slept here. And I'm freaking out in my head though. And I turn on my flashlight just to be looking around for him. And I look in the mirror, and behind me, standing near the fireplace, I see a reflection of a boy, not my cousin. It is a maybe 10-year-old boy in a German outfit. Like, he had that hat, the
With like
The old-
the old-fashioned hat. He had the suspenders, white shirt. It was the lines, I don't know, plaid suspenders, and like the tap shoes. Perfect, like,
Holy
spitting image
shit.
of a German boy, And he was just standing there.
Maybe like
The
a
stillest
yodeling
face.
boy? Like a yodeling
Yeah, like
boy?
a yodeling boy, exactly like that. Just standing there, looking. I quickly booked it. To get to the first floor where we climbed in, there's like a basement window we had to climb through, and there was a table underneath it that you still had to like jump up. Well, jumping up from that table, there was a German boy in a picture frame, one of the broken picture frames, the exact guy that I saw. So I freaked out. I got out of that thing. I cut myself all over from the glass. It was bad. So I literally just ran all the way to my house, my mother's house.
And instead, his house is across town, basically.
Yeah, literally, like, it was far. Like, I remember
God.
I had asthma and stuff, so, like, I walked and ran. And when I finally got in contact with my cousin, like, maybe, like, 7 a.m., he was already up or whatever, or answered at least. I asked him, like, what the hell happened, what happened? And he told me, like, how he heard something, and he, like, couldn't sleep, and then he heard something, like, loud, and he jumped up or whatever. He tried getting me, and how he saw a little German boy. The exact same thing. We
Jeez.
didn't tell each other, no story to each other. I was like, what? He was like, I saw a boy. And I asked him if it was, he said he saw it differently. But for he said a little European boy. And he described him the exact same way I described this guy.
European.
Before
German.
whatever.
You're giving me goosebumps right now.
It was crazy. Never went back in that place, ever. Because it was such a heavy feeling. I look at the house, my heart sinks a
Yeah.
little.
And now it's a dentist office?
Now it's like a doctor's
home.
office.
I thought- I thought
No,
it was
it's not.
a home.
It can't, no, there's like parking spots or
Is
something.
there? Oh, I
think.
Oh, yeah. No, I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what it was before, because there was like old, the curbs that stop you from crashing or
Yes.
whatever. Like at doctor's
Yeah,
offices and stuff. They had like 3 of them, like over there. So I don't know what it was, but it was laid out just like a house. So I'm not sure.
Yeah. So the only apparition I think I've ever felt, actually no, seen. I've been scratched by a ghost. We'll go into another story later, but the only time.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, I got scratched in the neck, doing ghost box things. But the only apparitions I've ever seen, which I think was my great grandmother, which she passed away recently, and like I don't know if it was before or after, no clue. I was 5 years old, 6 years old, don't know. I'm tearing up a little bit thinking about it. And I'm sleeping in my dad's room. My mom, I guess, was out somewhere. I don't know where she was at. Blah blah. And I'm sitting there, and I had this weird chill feeling. Looked out in the hallway, and next thing you know, I just saw this lady walk through the doorway, look at me with the biggest smile. She's in black and white, just in a grandma kind of clothing, and just biggest smile, waves at me, and just walks into my room and disappears. I start freaking out at whatever 6-year-old. I'm trying to wake my dad up. My dad, you can't wake up either, so I'm a spazzing 5-6-year-old that just saw something and just go into the blankets and went to sleep. But there's not the only first. That's not the first time I've seen her though. I've seen her a second time after my mom and dad separated, and I could not be in the dark. I love the dark, but I could not be in the dark because I walked into my bathroom, which was in my old house when we moved in with my mom's boyfriend, and as soon as I shut the door, her face was in my face, and everywhere I looked, it was in my face, and as soon as I hit the light on, it disappeared. I could not. For a couple years, I just couldn't walk into that bathroom with lights off. I had that light on.
Wild.
I got freaked out by that.
That's wild.
So
gosh.
Have you seen anything like that?
I haven't.
So much seen.
I haven't seen, but I've heard.
You've heard things.
So one time I was sleeping in my bed, and it was it had to be 1 o'clock, and I could have sworn I heard my parents' voice say "John," right next to my ear, and I remember I got out of my bed and I said "What?" And I literally walked to my parents and said, what? And I was like, well, shit, they're sleeping. And I went to my sister. I'm like, they're sleeping too. I'm like, well, I'm not going crazy. I did hear someone call my name, and I'm like, it was just, and I felt like just a weird
like
feeling.
a heavy feeling, right?
Yeah, like a heavy feeling, and I was creeped out. I couldn't go back to sleep.
The same thing happened with my mom. She told us my house is full of stories, but my childhood home. But my mom said that there was nobody home at the time, but she thought somebody came home because she was upstairs and she hears mom. So she was like, what is it? And she just heard mom one more time. She's like, what? And she thought, she was like, something has to be wrong because they're all at school. So she came downstairs. Nobody was home.
So it was during the day.
This was during
wow.
the day. So there's been guests, like my older sister's friends, saying that in the bathroom they felt like somebody was in the bathroom, like behind the shower curtain. They saw an older lady. They saw the silhouette of an older lady. Then I've seen personally silhouettes of like people like in the house, the shadows walking up the stairs, but you would be able to hear people walk up those stairs. They creak really loud, but you see somebody just go upstairs and you're like, one of a crazy story. Once my sister brought home a Ouija board.
Ooh, that's...
She was doing it with her friend, or they wanted to do it with my friend, with her friend. So I had my one black lab dog, and my mom's very spiritual, so she saw my sister brought a Ouija board, and she's like, get that thing out of my house. Get it out of my house. I don't want it in my house. She's like, Mom, you're being crazy. My mom literally was crazy, and she took a pair of grilling tongs and took the thing from her room and threw it out, put it in a garbage bag, and put it out in the front door, the door we don't really use on the other side. And so whatever happened, the dogs came back in from going in the backyard to go to the bathroom or whatever, and like 5 minutes later, we're all sitting down. It's over with. The dog's sitting at the door, the closed solid door. It's like 3 inches. They can't see anything on the outside of the door, barking. Woof, woof, just over and over again, barking at the door, and but a nasty, like really violent.
Like someone's there.
Not only somebody's there. When somebody's there, she's a black lab. She doesn't violently growl ever. We've never actually heard that growl before. It was like demonic. It was crazy. And we were all like screaming at the door. We were like in tears. We didn't know what to do. My mom was like, you brought it in. You're getting it out of here. Go, whatever. It was crazy. It was crazy. Now, I come from like a family of like empaths, so like we feel people's pain almost. I don't want to sound like too crazy, because I get it sounds crazy. I think people who used to tell me this were crazy, but like literally loco in the head. But I could feel like people's pains, and Sean probably thought I was BSing until that night, Clinton Road.
Oh my God.
When Clinton Road, if you guys don't know, is the most haunted road in America.
It's in New Jersey.
Yeah, it's in New Jersey. They say the first thing to understand about Clinton Road
is that North Jersey or South Jersey?
North Jersey.
North Jersey up there?
About an hour and a half, 2 hours.
That's by
Delaware. Delaware
up
Water Gap or something like that.
Oh wait, that's by like Flemington, right around there. Clinton?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. It might be.
Clinton Road.
I don't know if it's like in Clinton, the township of Clinton.
Clinton Road.
But after this, I haven't announced because we gotta see if Johnny wants to do something tomorrow.
Oh yeah, go to Clinton Road.
Maybe.
So it is. It is in West Milford.
Not Clinton Road.
West Milford, New Jersey.
It's by Flemington, I think. Let me see.
Jefferson. It's.
You use Google Maps. No, Google Maps.
Right there.
Where is it?
It is near Newton.
It's to the right of
Milford,
Newton.
Warwick,
Wait.
Vernon,
Is that the top of Jersey?
No,
it's not by you, Johnny.
It's near
okay.
Vernon.
I was gonna say,
It's by you. I think it's like a half hour from you though.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm happy it's a half hour.
So
farther the better.
So they say the first thing to know about Clinton Road is that it's not some urban legend like the Devil's Tree or whatever, the Jersey Devil. It's not like that. There's been many deaths there that have actually been recorded.
And there's many different things that have happened just in general.
There's multiple things. There's been multiple police reports, not just like whatever, like old legend that gangs dump bodies there. It's a good place to dump because it's like a 10-mile stretch of road in just covered in trees, you know. And then there's also been a lot of rituals that people have been caught in, like the KKK, a lot of demonic rituals. A lot of Satanists go over there to do fires and stuff. There used to be a zoo years and years ago. My mom actually went to the zoo, she said.
Did you really?
Yeah, I just learned this recently. I was talking about this. And the zoo closed down because of floods, and a lot of animals escaped and would kill people. Like a lot of people were killed, a few people. So there was another thing like that. Like there's monkey sightings and stuff. That's more on the legend side. But then they see like there's something called Dead Man's Curve, that like 8 people died going around this one curve. And that curve, you don't see me going past 5 miles an hour going like this, you know, like they say that that the original person who died throws you off the road.
Holy shit.
Well, your car, like, makes it lose control. There's a lot of different things. One of the stories I heard was real quick. A guy and his friend were camping over there, and the park rangers came up to him saying, hey, you can't be over here, you can't be camping. So they're like, okay. So as they were leaving or whatever, another cop came up to them and were like, you can't be over here, like, are you guys okay, whatever. And he goes, oh, we were already told by the 2 park rangers, like, we're leaving. And the cops go, what park rangers? We haven't had park rangers for like 10 years since the last 2 were killed.
Jesus. Oh my god.
That's wild.
That's
like gives me goosebumps. Well, I'm on this road, and it's a car full of people.
Let's get back to the rest of the story.
I don't want to take too much time. So yeah, I went there a couple of times. Well, this time I went with Sean and a couple of other like people, like my sisters and some friends.
Girlfriends.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going down it. There's one legend that you throw a penny, they throw it back or whatever.
So let me just put a little for this one, because so I threw the first coin. I think I told you. I didn't.
It was
I think
like
I
the
did
first
tell you.
2 times. We did it.
No, just one time.
Oh, just one time. So we did it to mess with everybody.
Yeah, I took a penny and I just threw it up in the air and it hit the car, that's the legend, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's the legend. So we were just joking around with them.
Oh no, wait, no, you throw it off the edge and it comes back up.
Yeah, it's over like this mini bridge. It's literally like the size of the width of a road. You know, it's not a big bridge.
Yeah. So I threw it. I fucked it, everyone. But then it was a second one that hit the truck, and that was that was like I had no word for it. I'm like,
we both looked at each other
because he knew I did the first one, but no one else knew that. But the second one was I didn't do that.
Yeah, and we were like, you're joking with me, right? But like in eye contact, because we didn't want to like tell them that we did the first one. Yeah,
we just want to keep it going.
Exactly. So it was really like scary. So my sister's reading off of her phone a whole bunch of different stories, and I'm telling her shut up as we're driving because I hear in my head a woman, like I see this vision, like this woman is literally running. It could have just be me, like just thinking it, you know, or whatever, running and like being chased by something, and I start bawling my eyes out. When I tell you, I don't really cry for much, you know. I had a lot happen to me in my life, and I don't really cry because I feel like crying's kind of pointless. I could be sad.
Doesn't get you anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like exactly. Yeah. But I'm not like manly, you know. I don't know. I take my upsetness other ways, but I was bawling my eyes out, like uncontrollably sobbing, and everybody's like, what's the matter? I was like, I'm telling them, I can't stop crying. I don't know why I'm crying. I'm not sad. I don't know what's going on right now. Sean's driving, and everybody's like, what do you mean? What's going on? Probably thinking I'm crazy. I'm like, I don't know why I'm crying. And the tears were rushing out of me. I felt this woman's pain, and I don't even know her.
That is the weirdest.
It was the weirdest crap. Wow. And then the next story my sister said on her phone, like 5 minutes later, there was a woman who got stabbed in the woods after being chased.
Jesus,
wow.
I had no idea. I just knew it was the most haunted road in America. So I was like, let's go.
We gotta go back there actually again. Maybe do a live stream of that.
Yeah,
I think it'd be boring a live stream probably, but
that would.
I don't know. Just, I don't know. We'll see how that one goes because I feel like it'd be boring.
That is one of the craziest like moments. That's where like I really realized like I think there's something in my head that like I could see and feel that's like not normal to most humans.
Do you ever like like see something or like dream about something that happens like a few months later?
I have that a lot.
Yeah,
I
like
get
a
that
reverse
lot.
deja vu, right?
Well, no, I mean like not deja vu. Like
Well,
it
it
actually
happens.
happens.
Yeah, it actually.
Like,
So
I guess yeah. Reverse,
So listen,
yeah.
I had that with. I had it with simply just driving over a bridge or going to New York City. The New York City is a real quick one. It was like literally, went to a white room. In the dream, it was the Lego. It had Legos in it, which I think they did use for Legos at one point. But then when I walked in, it was a white room though. It's the exact white room. Like, oh my god. And then the other time was my dog dying. I'm not gonna just explain the whole story, but just basically. Exactly what happened in the dream. My dog dying of a disease. It didn't say what disease. It just said he was dying of a disease. Blah blah. And I blacked out and I woke up. Now when that all things came down to it, he got kidney failure. But the exact thing happened where a point where I started walking in the veterinary hospital. I blacked out right like it happened in the dream, and it just and then I felt I couldn't. I sat there for a whole week just trying to look for a cure to the dog because I felt so bad that I had the dream that I'm dying and I couldn't stop it.
Yeah.
So I sat there for a whole week or two just trying to find a way to stop the liver, whatever kidney, whatever the hell they had for dogs, but that one really ruined me like for a good couple years.
That's wild.
Because dreams, honestly, at that point, dreams tear the shit out of me every time I had them.
Exactly. 'cause
Someone
it's just
dying,
so
someone
close
dying
to
in a
home.
dream, I getting
Yeah.
stabbed in a
Yeah,
dream,
'cause-
and there's always I started just getting paranoid. Not paranoid.
It's like
but,
sketchy. Yeah.
But
yeah.
I'm
Like,
sitting
you're
there.
like,
I'm just.
God,
I'm
now
more like, okay,
I'm thinking
well,
about it nonstop
what's the
now.
future
Like,
of this one? Of what's this? What is this one going to bring?
speaking of dreaming, have you ever had what is it called? Not a panic attack. What's
Sleep paralysis.
sleep
I've
paralysis?
had that
my
once or
God.
twice. It's terrifying.
What scariest thing?
Where you watch yourself?
Where
Is that
you
the one
can't
where you
even
watch?
There's
scream.
different
Yes.
versions of it. What did you see? Because mine was horrific.
I didn't see anything. My eyes were open, and I couldn't get my voice, and I couldn't move, and I was struggling. I was screaming, "Dad!" I couldn't get any
Your
sound
voice.
out, and I'm like, holy shit, man! Like I'm like, this has to end. Like I need it to stop.
What happened when it ended? Because I don't talk to many people who had that, and I need to connect mine.
It was dark in my room, but it was weird because it was dark, but there was like light. You know what I mean? Like when it's
Yeah.
dark, but like it's almost like if you had like a little like lantern on.
Yeah, and it's just the
Yeah, like-
fade of
And
whatever.
I'm sitting there and I'm just like, and I'm struggling to get the word, even any sound out, and I'm laying flat like this,
Freaking out, probably.
I'm freaking out in my mind, and I'm like, I think eventually I can't remember, but either I went back to sleep or eventually I finally moved. I probably went back to sleep because I don't think I was able to move. I couldn't move at all.
So I had a similar thing, and this one, I right now I just got like a whole bunch of flashbacks just when then you were just saying that. It's like I remember we had a couch downstairs in my basement.
Okay.
Me and Dad used to sleep on those couches. I used to be on the little couch, he's on the big couch. And I woke I like I said, once again, my dreams are always very lucid and every blah blah. But this dream I had I think this one we were doing the ghost box stuff. So I don't know if it was paranormal. I don't know what it was, but whatever it was, I woke up to something choking me. And I couldn't speak, I couldn't move, I just couldn't do a thing, and I woke up though. Actually, no, I'm doing this in reverse. First, I woke up. I went to the bathroom.
I was gonna say you were choked.
No.
They choked you to sleep.
No,
I'm kidding.
I woke up. Now, this is the weirdest dream because I woke up about 10 times that night.
Did you have where you went to sleep, woke up, went to sleep, woke up
No,
like that?
no. I woke up. I don't know exactly the things, but it'd be like, all right, I had to go to the bathroom, but instead of going to the bathroom, I would walk to like the TV. I'll wake up again until I went towards the hallway. If I went to my room, I woke up.
Damn.
If I didn't turn the light on, I woke up. And then eventually, I think I went to the bathroom, and I think I hit the light, and I think that's when I blacked out, and I was back, and whatever it was, but that's when the thing grabbed my throat, and I just couldn't move off the couch. And at that, I don't remember waking up. I think I may have just everything went black, and I just woke up in the morning. It was just, but it was like literally waking up like a billion different times within one night.
That's crazy.
And I just the only way to explain it was that I had to do a certain thing, and I didn't do it, and I got punished for it, or the final thing was that.
That's wild, actually.
Because I don't know how else to explain it, but just being punished for not doing that one thing.
Yeah.
Because it was just like I said, constantly. I would walk through something, and if I didn't do a certain, and then there was one time I think I walked past I turned the light on, And then the second time, like I didn't turn the light on, and nothing happened. And I woke up thinking I didn't turn the light on again, and that's when it blacked out instantly again, and reset it back to that one position again.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it was just a freaky night. And I just remember but the whole point of the flashback to it was just that black figure holding me down by my throat on the not able to move. I just remember going.
I've only had one thing of sleep paralysis in my life, and I never want that to happen again. And that was actually, I was at my mother's house again. This was probably the most recent paranormal thing that happened at my mother's house. This probably happened like maybe 3 years ago, since I moved out actually. So before I got my place, I was sleeping in the sunroom. There was a couch. When you first walk in, it was like a single person couch. So I just had my legs up on the arm of the couch and used the other arm as like for my head. And I remember just falling asleep, and I don't know how long I was asleep for or whatever. And I remember waking up and just feeling this black mass over me. I saw everything. My eyes were open like yours, but I couldn't move, just like you. Couldn't do anything. I couldn't get my voice out, and I was struggling. I remember I wanted to fight it so bad. I was like, I know exactly what this is. I know this is sleep paralysis. I know I'm not asleep right now. I know this is real life, and I need to get out of this. And I'm trying with all my might to move my arms or whatever. And I'm fighting, and all of a sudden, I get my breath. I'm like, and I was able to move, but at that second, one of the things from the kitchen, which was right around the corner, came smashing down. It was a vase that everybody was asleep. It was like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Everybody. And that vase has been there for the 10 years that we lived there, 10, 12 years. It's never moved. It's on the top shelf. It's not near the edge. It's a big shelf and a sturdy vase. It's a big vase.
Yeah.
No earthquake, nothing would have just knocked that down. It was crazy, and it was the only thing that freed me. Once that broke, my mom came down. She's like, "What? How did that break?" Whatever. And I was like in tears, like telling her, like, I don't know how this happened. And I was trying to explain like what happened, and it was wild because that whatever that energy was, like, just maybe left me, that black mass, and went through the vase. I don't know what happened, but that was wild. That was crazy.
That's it's like that black mass though. When you see it though, it's just like you can't do a damn thing. And like, I don't remember how I woke up, to be honest, that night. Yeah. I don't remember how I woke up that night. I mean, that morning, night. I don't remember it was morning, night. I'm assuming it was morning, but I have no clue. It was just very terrifying.
My sister's told me by here even. She'll be, laying in bed and she'll see something walk right past her door, and she'll think it's either me or my dad, and it's not.
And it's nobody.
That's she's seen it multiple times while I was at college. And even one time in the laundry room, we left her. She was here by herself. I mean, I don't know how true it is, but she said my dad normally puts his slippers on top of the heater.
Okay.
Or whatever we use for the heater. And she said while she was here, she's on the phone with her friend, they went flying across the room.
Are you serious?
Flying across the room, and she took a picture of it and sent it to us.
This podcast is in for a treat.
It's in for a huge treat. But
that is wild. We've all experienced that. Like, there's a light in the sky right now.
Oh my god. Sounds like a helicopter.
Wait, let's see. That's probably a
yeah, it's a thing.
A Black Hawk.
Well, probably.
But yeah, that's wild that we've all experienced something like that.
I don't know if you noticed when we walked in, we actually have a little like metal, like we had a priest bless the house.
Really?
It's actually hanging off the door.
Really? My mom's blessed the house. I actually came home to her blessing the house.
It's like, how are you doing, Mom?
Yeah, I was like, is this like your normal Tuesday when I'm not home from school or something? like what's happening? She was like, there's too many things that happened in my house that were crazy. One of my stepfather's best man. I liked him. He was a good guy, and I was young, like maybe like 8, 9 years old, and I remember I found a stick in the shape of a gun in my front yard, and I was playing with my neighbors, like my friends or whatever, like they had Nerf guns, I had the stick or whatever. We had sticks and swords and stuff.
And stone, my bone.
Yeah. So I remember him coming up to me like, give me the stick or whatever. I was like, no, like I'm playing with it. And he twisted my arm really bad. I probably was just being a little wussy, but like he twisted my arm and I cried. And I was like, why would you do that or whatever? Well, he used to sleep over all the time, and he would sleep on the bottom bunk because I had bunk beds, but I would sleep on the top. My sister got her own room, so I didn't need the bottom bunk. I just liked the top bunk. So every time, like, that'd be like the guest bed or whatever, and I would sleep on top, and he woke up to a pillow over his face, and he couldn't get it off. It was like sleep paralysis, and it happened to him, and he couldn't get it off, and he never slept over again. He said there was something evil in that room that night. That night, and he is not religious. He's this Puerto Rican guy who's like so like against spirituality. He's like, that's BS. Ghosts aren't real, whatever. And he said that was demonic. He was like, whatever was in there.
That's insane.
So that's not the only thing that's protected me though, because you know my cousin Juliana.
Yes.
Her mother cursed me out once, and I remember I was like, why would an adult curse me out? And I was probably a really bad crybaby. That's why I don't cry now.
you learned a lesson.
Yeah, exactly.
Really.
Exactly. So she slept over or whatever after making me cry, and the exact same thing happened. The pillow over the face.
That's insane.
Now she's a very spiritual person, and she knew that it wasn't just sleep paralysis or something.
Wow.
She knew that something was there because she remembers being able to take it off. It was just like slightly pressed on her face, and that's crazy.
That's insane.
So my sisters were always afraid of being mean to me because there was something protecting me in my room. Every time my mom would pass, because you have to pass my room to go to the bathroom, she would see like a little boy in the room or something and knew
German
it
boy?
wasn't me. No, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. But she knew. My mom's very spiritual, and she accepted spirits, like, to roam the universe or whatever, just not the demons. So I think it only happened when somebody made me very upset or something like that, which is kind of crazy to me, you know. And even though I knew it and I knew he was protecting me, I would go to sleep like thinking about it. Like I would be like, thank you, you know. Like I was young enough, but like old enough to know what spirits were, and like, you know, I would speak to them trying to, you know, to get a response, never anything. And it was scary. It was scary.
I feel like the response, never when you want it.
Yeah,
always
exactly.
When you least expect it.
Exactly.
I almost like to think that like going back to like the lights and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I always like to think it's like, I don't know, maybe like my grandparents.
Or like,
It always, always want to hope that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like,
it's always a hope.
Saying that like, okay, maybe you're on the right track. Like, cause I remember like sometimes like, it would happen all the time, and then I would do something different.
And it's times when you needed that extra boost, probably.
Yeah. And it just like, you saw it, and it wasn't just like, you know, on, off. It was like pulsing. Like, you'd see it pulsing.
Yeah.
So,
and it's just,
you know what? Just back to that. You remember my grandmother, right?
Oh, yeah. I know this story, actually.
So, listen, I know you kind of got to go to bed.
Yeah.
So, this is probably the last thing. We'll definitely continue this podcast again that night.
Yeah.
But I just want to end it off with this, because this
Are you going to leave me with something that's really scary to put me
he's not going to be able to
I'm not going to be able to sleep now.
Just hold on. Let me get it. You guys talk for a second. Let me just find it.
I'll tell my quick thing. Unfortunately, my father passed like 2 years ago. I don't tell many people. Well, I tell my close friends, and I'll like try to be light about it. But obviously, it's something that really hurts. So when he first passed, like a month in, I needed some sort of reassurance. We found his room, his bedroom had his credit cards laid out, his keys, things that were really important. So I feel like he knew he was dying. It wasn't a suicide or anything like that. It was natural causes. But it was kind of crazy because I felt like if he knew, then why didn't he go to the hospital? And I needed some sort of reassurance as his son. So I was very upset. And once I was at my girlfriend's house, and she has this thing underneath her TV, like a TV stand, I guess, maybe, with mirrors on it. And the couch was facing the mirrors. So I remember falling asleep once on that couch, and like a month after he passed, and I woke up at like 2 a.m. They always shut the lights, and I always make sure the lights are shut, because that's the one thing her mother asked of me almost. So like, the lights were definitely shut.
Yeah.
Woke up, lights were on. So I knew that maybe it was my girlfriend's brother. getting food or something. That happens. So I got up. I was like, Steven or whatever. Nobody. And then I see the exact figure of my father. My father was very oddly shaped. He was big. So
If you want to think of the Italian grandfather,
yeah, an Italian like Goomba, you know,
Yeah.
that's who he was. So, you know, he had a robe on and everything, you know, all the time. So I just see it in the mirror walk by the couch and disappear. So from right there, I stayed still. The lights went back off. Right there, and I knew it wasn't Steven because he would have said yeah. Because I asked, like, I was like, Steven, you know, and nothing. I was very, very scared because I wanted to make sure it wasn't my father. It was my father and not like just any spirit or anything. Because I'm used to seeing spirits and things like that, like not every day, but you know when it happens. So it was something that made me rest assured.
Yeah.
That he was okay and I'm okay, and it was like a way of saying goodbye because it was like a month later. It was very, very, and this was like I was bedridden to this couch because I still had COVID very bad and I couldn't move. I was like on the verge of dying when I was in the hospital and I was just released and this happened. So a lot of different emotions going on over there, and that was like the craziest thing.
All right, so now on to the next person passing away. So my grandmother passed away from cancer, sadly. Very quick thing. Actually, yeah. Long story short, she passed away. And my mom's religious, and I don't know my grandfather, and I don't think he was, but whatever it was, my mom explains it as purgatory. Basically, like you go to this place, and then you go to your passing or judgment, whatever it is. I don't know. I'm not religious myself. But my grandfather got a phone call. She passed away in the morning, or I think it was like 8 a.m. in the morning. And hopefully that thump we just heard is not a ghost.
Did you hear that?
I thought that was you.
Nope, that was not me.
That was
I thought it was the door.
So we're...
Yeah, wait, you said there's no room above here?
Nope.
All right, so...
That's just the roof.
All right, so we have some paranormal going right now. But, so...
I've been feeling like something over my shoulder.
Well, you see
Well,
me keep
I'm talking
looking
about
over
my-
there.
Yeah, I know.
You see when he's talking, I've been looking.
I noticed you've been looking over there, and
I'll tell
I've
you
been
after the podcast.
I've been
because
feeling
there's something over there.
there is.
My, so my grandfather got a phone call.
Is it
He
good or bad?
never got it.
Good.
And this is basically what he left a voicemail. And this is what the voicemail is.
End of message. Message saved. Next message. Hi, sweetheart. It's me. Word to. Anyway, I just calling you as you asked, and just let you know I love you, and I miss you so much. It's been very quiet up here. I'm doing really well. No stress. I just feel like my whole body has been drained of stress, and it really feels good. Can't wait to told you and kisses and hugs. I feel good. I do. I feel good. So I guess I'll talk to you later. I love you.
So that was taken at... That...
So she literally said,
I'm okay.
I'm okay. It's something up here. What was up here?
I was like, it's
Calm up here or
Calm up
something?
here. It's like God, and like my body's been drained of stress.
Wow.
And like I said, her body was taken over. Like the cancer was spread
And
to her
she
body.
didn't take this before she passed away. You got this voicemail.
This
afterwards.
voicemail was I don't have the timestamp, but at the time my mom and my uncle, everyone looked at the phone to sit there and be like, because it was the freakiest thing, because it was just the most creepiest thing
You need
ever.
to send me that because people who never believe, they'll believe. That's
It's
wild.
the most it was the most creepiest thing ever in the world, and it was just and honestly, listen to that video right now. Like I don't know, but there was like if you ever used the the spirit box, it used the radio frequency. It went through it. If you listen to it closely, I don't know if you can hear it over the mic or not, but you heard a whoosh, whoosh, and that's kind of like a frequency kind of thing. And it could have been a video recording, but like, it's kind of creepy to see hearing it the way it was, and just if you listen to the wording, if you just listen to the whole thing, like I can't pick it out because my mind just goes kind of everywhere when I think about that audio, but it's like just makes you like, what, like, you know, how does that even happen?
Yeah, exactly.
Because she couldn't talk for months. Just like that, she couldn't talk for months. She'd been only able to mumble things. That's the most.
Before she went.
Before, yeah. It's basically as soon as she diagnosed cancer, like not too long after that, she couldn't talk. But yeah, so we're gonna probably end this podcast on that note.
Yeah,
Johnny. Well, the only question is we're going to the racetrack tomorrow. Do you want to go?
I can't have work.
Tomorrow night.
Oh, tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
I thought you meant in the morning.
No, it's 30 minutes from you. Give me a call. You gotta work.
Okay.
It's 20 minutes away from you.
Tune in tomorrow. We'll be at the racetrack. Maybe me and Johnny talk while Sean's on the track. Otherwise, Johnny's gonna leave me alone.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna leave you alone.
Like my dad. I wasn't lying.
He's not lying. So he does this. He just says this.
It's my coping mechanism.
So you guys enjoyed the podcast. If you guys want to see more of these podcasts, hit subscribe, like the video. We'll see you guys very soon. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace out.
That was terrible.
Bye, guys.
Peace.
Bye.
You got all
This
of
is
you
awkward.
suck.
This is awkward.
Goodbye.
We're just looking at it.
This is very awkward.
How do we end
staring.
it? Yeah, wait. What do we do now? Oh no.
Run.
Oh no.
Just gotta run.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like it's
Let's
that-
just pretend we're exiting and never coming back.
The end of Ferris Bueller. You're still